Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to, finally, the first episode of the Pitch Perfect podcast.
Woo!
I am your host, Ethan. I'm here with Ted, Joe, and Zach.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm good.
Yeah.
How are
Doing
you
pretty
feeling?
well.
How are you?
I'm not
How
too
are
bad. I'm just excited to get started. Obviously, it's the first episode of the podcast. Ted, tell us a bit about yourself, mate.
Ted. Oh, that's me.
That's staying in.
No, yeah, I'm
Off to a
Ted.
great start.
I'm Ted. Well, we're all doing journalism at uni, aren't we? Sports journalism. I'm a Wednesday fan. Unfortunately, we're not doing too well this season. But yeah, thank you.
Joe, how are you, mate?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know.
You just thought.
I support United. Sheffield United, I must add. The real United.
Well,
The first United.
Okay. And Zach?
I'm Zach. I'm a Wednesday fan.
How do you feel?
Unfortunately.
How do you feel? How do you two then feel about your season so far, lads?
Well, we're basically catching up now, aren't we? Really?
yeah, it's
Like,
Zisco, he's muddled us, to be fair.
I think just the summer recruitment muddled us, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't blame Zisco fully. I
Not
think,
fully, no, but he didn't help himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, playing negative football, but the hand he was dealt by chance.
You look at it, like how many signings have we making this summer? How many actually have done well so far?
I think there's been like one or two.
Bernard,
Yeah, he's been good. Masaba.
Masaba, and then there's a couple that haven't played enough to judge, like Gassama,
Yeah.
Mohamed Diaby. Then we've signed players like Jeff Hendrick and Ashley Fletcher. Like,
It's not
it's
honestly,
like like horrendous, isn't it? Like, and that's probably going to send us down. That's the issue. If we had got Danny Roll in the summer, then I think we'd be in mid-table by now.
Yeah, probably. I believe that.
Do you think there's still a season on for you guys?
I think there's time. Well, we'll get into the predictions, but I think there's time left.
I was gonna say I think look we're not even in January yet. There's a lot of games to go, and same for me with Norwich. Obviously, our season hasn't exactly gone to plan. Sergeant Barnes got injured around the same time. The fans are starting to fall out of favour with David. We're not starting to. They are out of favour with David Wagner. Obviously, a lot has happened in the back rooms as well regarding obviously the movement between Delia and the Atanasios, as well as obviously Stuart Webber's literally, as of recording, Stuart Webber left the club last weekend. It was a good win. It was a good win against Cardiff, and a win that Norwich City definitely needed. I was really impressed with the fight the players showed that they didn't show against Blackburn, and I mean that was a pathetic performance, really, one of the most pathetic of this season, probably including the Plymouth game. And like you say, there's a lot of time left in this season. I think there's still time for Norwich to turn things around. Obviously, like you said before, Zach, we'll get onto the predictions in a bit. But is there anything that Wednesday maybe they can do in January? Do you think?
Hopefully, chance to yourselves. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. So hopefully in January, Danny gets some hopefully good loan players in, because we'll probably send Fletcher and Hendrick back.
We ought to.
We probably will, but do.
I think Buckley will get recalled as well. John
Yeah,
Buckley.
but fair, I don't mind Buckley. He's one of them, and he's like hit or miss depending on the game.
Yeah.
He's obviously got potential,
But
but he's only on loan, so it's like even if he does well at us, he's just going to go back to Blackburn anyway.
yeah, to be fair, I think it's hard to perform in the environment that our club's currently in.
In the
as
right
well.
environment, he could be probably one of the best players in the Championship, I think.
Yeah.
And Blackburn fans were saying that if he got his head straight, one of the best players in the Championship.
Can we talk about Barry Bannon?
2 million a week.
What a footballer!
He were like probably. Do you think he deserves legend status now?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Maybe.
His biggest legend I've seen.
Yeah, probably for me as well. And
The bar's not very high then.
no, but to say
The
the
bar
caliber
is
of
never
player he
high.
is, the caliber of player he is, he could have gone to the Premier League, but he decided to stay with us in League One.
Yeah, loyalty.
Loyalty, innit? That's what you want. He might not be our best player ever. We've had better players, but to say he could have left us quite easily, and decided to stay with us for League One, and he was by far the best player in League One for those 2 years.
Yeah. What about you? Have you got any legend status players brewing?
Oh,
in the squad?
absolutely. I think of late, I think Teemu Pukki worked his way into that legend status, definitely on the Hall of Fame for me. Obviously, Norwich have got a few, some that Premier League fans will remember over the years, Grant Holt, Darren Huckabee, etc. We've had our fair share over the last few years. Jeremy Goss against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
So I think while we don't have to show for it in the trophy cabinet, I think we do in terms of like there's little stats that Norwich have got over the last few years, and obviously we've had the I think the most promotions now in 5, but unfortunately with the most promotions comes the most relegations as well. So make of that stat what you will. Do I think we'll go up again this year? Like I said, we'll get onto the predictions in a little while, but like I say, I think for us there's a season there, and unfortunately I am going to bring them up. Norwich fans are going to think, why would you want to talk about them? Ipswich Town, unfortunately, we've got no choice. We've got no choice but to mention them, lads. As a Norwich fan, obviously it's painful, but what I will say is, obviously, back in 2018-19, which for me is probably my favourite season as a Norwich City fan, it was magical, wasn't it? Like, Norwich, I think they were tipped, because we finished 14th the season before, and we were tipped to just be a mid-table team. Obviously, we bought all these random Germans in. Teemu Pukki came in. Emi Buendia came in. No one knew who he was. You had players like Onel Hernandez, who, again, all these players nobody knew. Daniel Farker, he came in with an idea, and it was magical. And unfortunately, Ipswich were on the receiving end of that, and they were bottom of the league at the time. And some people called the season table that season the East Anglian sandwich, as I remember it being called. I'm sure.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
You were talking about Stuart Webber earlier. How do you see him now? Like, what do you think about him? Because he's done a lot for you, hasn't he?
I get asked this question a lot, and I think it's a case of Stuart Webber at the start. If you asked me this 2 years ago, I would have sung his praises. I'd have said, what an amazing bloke. The training ground, the vegetable patch at the training ground, all the Norwich fans will know about that.
He was getting linked with Liverpool at one point, wasn't he?
He was. He was interested. There was interest from Manchester United about that job as well, which, I mean, who knows? I don't know what job he's going to take on next. But I think for me, how I'd leave Stuart Webber now is, what's the saying? You either
stay long enough to become the villain.
Yeah. So you either leave a hero or you stay long enough to become the villain. And to be honest, I think that's where.
We need a technical director, don't we, or like a sporting director? And I think he'd probably be the best man for the job right now.
Do you know what? For a team that needs it, I think
we have a German manager as well, don't we? And he likes his German managers. Like he got Farker in, and he got Wagner in at Huddersfield.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, most of these are connections that he already had.
Yeah.
Obviously, like with David Wagner, obviously they were busy mates, and I'll get onto the hierarchy of Norwich City a bit later on in the podcast. But they're playing happy families at the moment at Colney and at Carrow Road, because you've got Delia and Michael. Obviously, they're married. You've got Zoe Webber and Stuart Webber that are running the club. Well, not now, obviously, but and then you've got David Wagner, who's busy mates with everyone. So I'm hoping Ben Napper's going to come in and obviously shake things up. And I mean that's something Norwich fans can get excited about. But over the next few months, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Norwich City. And I think there's definitely time for things to change. Like I say, you've got Josh Sargent coming back, who I think on his day can be one of the best strikers in the division. I think the last couple of seasons he's come on leaps and bounds. You can just see how hard the guy works. I mean, even in the Premier League, I know he wasn't scoring goals, but I'm pretty sure in the Norwich team he had one of the best defensive stats in the team, and he's a striker. And so that just shows I mean, all these Americans that come over, that they're all very hard working, they're all very fit, and credit to Josh Sargent. I think there's a real player in there, and had he not have got injured, I like to think Norwich would be sitting quite a lot higher up the table.
He's ginger though.
You can't.
I don't think we can say that, pal.
Right, before we get into the predictions,
tell that to Niall.
Might hit me.
Before we get into the predictions, I've got each time we do this podcast, I think we need a trivia question at the start.
Okay.
And I've got a trivia question for you.
Here we go.
Ball knowledge.
Oh, Nelly.
This is what I'm terrible at.
Right. Who is the only player to score a hat-trick in all 4 divisions of the Football League?
Oh.
I'll give you a clue. He played for Norwich.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
This is for Ethan.
All 4 divisions.
And the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Is it?
Jesus.
Is it relatively? Is it in the 21st century?
Yes. He played 2000s, early 2010s.
Grant Holt.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Norwich fans are going to batter me for
Will you
this.
give us another club, maybe?
Nottingham Forest.
Oh,
Derby. West Brom. Cardiff.
Cardiff. Okay.
He started his career at Cardiff, I believe.
I'm starting to rack my brain a little bit. Was he? When was he at Norwich?
2000, late 2000s.
Late, so like 2008, 2009.
2007, I think he was there.
Oh, that's a little bit before. That's a little bit before my memory time, really.
Yeah. He played for Wales at international level.
Wales. He's Welsh. There's Norwich fans that are probably screaming at the video at the moment. Or if you're listening on Spotify, then you're probably screaming at me. Go on, Joe. Any suggestions, Joe?
Of course, I don't have any.
Billy Sharp.
Billy Sharp. Absolutely not.
That is incorrect.
Scored a hat. No, because he'd have played for bigger clubs.
He's quite a small striker.
A small striker.
Oh,
Simeon Jackson.
No. That's a very good shout, though.
How small are we talking?
Probably your height.
Thank you very much.
I'm joking. I don't know what height.
Joe's
is.
5'2" for context.
No, I'm actually 6'4".
Well, I ain't got an idea. I ain't got a clue. Genuinely.
Do you want the answer?
You've stumped me. I'm probably going to be really annoyed.
Robert Earnshaw.
Oh my word. Well, that is a shame. Well, we failed this week, gentlemen. Unlucky.
Next week, though.
Yeah, next week we'll get them.
Are we getting into our predictions then?
We will, but first of all, Joe, you haven't really spoke much so far.
Yeah, I've been waiting for somebody to finish, but then somebody else comes in.
So how are you getting on, mate? How's life?
It's pretty good.
What's been happening in the life of Joe Stanilad?
That's not my name, you know. Stanyland.
Oh, I thought lad would sound better.
Get the Wetherspoons book out.
Yeah, we've been to Wetherspoons a lot. You know, about three, four times a week for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He owes me a lot of money, does that?
Yeah. I've bought Ethan many a pints.
Oh, bless your hearts, gentlemen. Bless your hearts.
8 a.m. bus rides.
8 a.m. bus rides.
Yeah.
Horrible. On Tuesday, I was on the bus, and there was this woman 2 seats ahead of me eating fridge raiders. 8 a.m. You know, obviously I wouldn't care, but
That just reeks, doesn't it?
yeah, they smell. And today I was on the bus, Thursday, 8 a.m. bus.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody was eating like meat McCoys. like meat in McCoys.
What, like flavour of meat?
Oh, I don't know. You could just smell like
Flame
the
grilled
meat.
steak.
It's
Possibly, yeah.
got to be.
Well, I want to
Yeah.
smell. I'd like to smell them.
It's not bad when you're eating them, but you know, like when you're in an enclosed space.
They make you hungry. Was that the problem?
Of course, I was hungry. That's not even had breakfast.
Yeah, me neither.
Podcast an empty stomach is never a good idea.
Exactly. I'm surprised you can't like hear my stomach through the
No,
mic.
see, this is why I had crepes.
What? Shoes?
Creeps.
No.
No, he's on about the pancake
No,
things.
you know the little pancake things you can
Oh,
get from Tesco's?
French.
Well, I assume so, yeah. I think they're French.
I boycott everything French.
No, they're good at they're good at pastry stuff.
Yeah.
What no, mate?
Like you know, croissant,
Yeah,
pain au
like-
chocolat.
You said that very well.
Wait,
You
wait.
pronounced that really
wait,
really
wait,
well.
All right.
A what?
Thank you.
A what?
A pain au chocolat.
Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
Pan of chocolate, mate.
A pan of chocolate.
Yeah,
Mate, you're from Barnsley. You can't speak.
I'm not
like
from
that.
Barnsley.
You can't speak like that.
I am from, not Barnsley.
The best place
You
to
don't,
be.
you don't want to
Well, you
dox
are.
himself.
I mean,
you
I'm
are.
not.
You are.
I'm not.
Where are you from then?
Well, I can't say. You know,
He can't be doxing himself.
I'm not-
The masses are going to be finding him after this episode.
I live in Sheffield.
Well, he hasn't said anything too questionable yet, unless the woman with her crisps comes after him.
All the
I mean, you
refrigerators.
never know.
All the
Yeah, all
refrigerators.
refrigerators.
The refrigerator.
What we're all having to eat later then. After
Oh,
this
I don't
podcast.
I don't know.
Should we go Yates?
I'm thinking
Yeah.
Yates's.
Shout out to Yates.
The
Cheap.
student offers.
Looking
Yeah,
for a
student
sponsorship,
offers.
really.
I
Yeah.
bought him a student burger, and I'm yet to be paid
Oh,
back.
they are absolutely phenomenal.
A fiver
They are really good. A fiver for a burger,
in chips.
and then only £3 for a Moretti, which I know Joe has his opinions about being Moretti, but
Yeah, Moretti isn't very good. It's pretty awful, you know.
go on then, lads. I've got a different question for you. Before we jump, we're gonna go off on a bit of a tangent here. I want
Yeah.
your top 5 lagers.
Ooh.
I'm not a lager drinker.
He's the weirdo, isn't he?
Should we just say alcoholic drinks in general?
Mine are going to be lagers.
Okay, it's got to be a pint.
Thatcher's Blood Orange.
Is that number one?
That is number
Go
one.
on, you go first then.
All right, Thatcher's Blood Orange is number one. It's just absolute incredible nectar.
You know we're going to get absolutely slandered for all of these.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
I always get slandered for my alcohol choices in general, to be honest.
I mean, it is cider.
I mean,
Exactly.
this is definitely going to be a Twitter clip, and we're all going to get absolutely battered.
Number
Okay.
2,
Go on.
Aspel.
Ooh,
I've never had Aspel.
I can't.
Is it a
comment
cider?
It is a cider.
I don't drink cider.
No, I can't comment either. I
All
can't
5
comment
of
either.
them are going to be ciders.
Number 3, Strongbow.
It's just not good, Zach, is it?
It's-
It's
no,
I mean, in Strongbow's defence, you can get it for about £2.30
Exactly.
a spoons.
You can at Carl. You can with Carlin as well.
Yeah,
I'd
Oh,
rather
yeah,
drink Carlin.
just
I'd rather
because
drink
it's
Carlin
cheap
than
doesn't
cider.
mean it's good.
Number 4, Peroni.
Okay,
Okay.
See,
Not
that's
a
a bit
cider.
more respectable, but I think it should have been higher up.
I do love a Peroni.
Yeah,
It's
Peroni's
the only lager I like.
Fair enough.
I like Corona as well. 5 Corona.
Right,
okay, fair enough.
Oh,
Go,
that
go,
is good.
go on, Joe. Here we
I'm
go.
Stanley lad. In with his
Big
predictions.
Stanley lad. Thank you very much,
You're welcome.
Farmer. Number 1, I'd probably have to put Stella.
Cool. He's one of them.
Stella Artois. You know, for such like a fancy name, it has some really horrible things attached to it.
Like what, Joe?
Yeah, go on, Joe.
Can't
Elaborate.
mention anything else.
No, I think you need to elaborate.
People of a certain
Persuasion.
persuasion that you know
Demographic.
like to do like to do things with their fists at home.
Right. Anyway. Joe, what's your number 2, mate? We'll move swiftly on.
Right, domestic violence is not funny.
Yeah.
Let's just say that as part of the podcast.
No, of course it's not funny. No. Carry on.
Uh,
Gonna get us cancelled, Joe.
I'd probably have to put Corona,
Okay.
Number 2.
but bottled, not on draft.
That's not
I
bad.
prefer it on draft.
No, do you know
I
what?
prefer it on draft.
No, I actually agree with Joe here. I think it's one of the very few beers that are better in the bottle than they are on draft.
It may not be a pint, but what you can do is you can buy 2 bottles and pour it into a pint glass.
That is true. No, I'm with Joe on this one.
That's suspect behaviour. though.
Corona in a bottle's good.
Now imagine
Yeah.
you're out at a pub though, and you buy 2 bottles of Corona, and you
No,
bring
no,
it
I
back
know.
and ask for a pint glass, and then just pour them both in.
No, look, you see,
You look suspect.
I agree with the fact that like if you go to a pub and you don't have something on draft, that's criminal behaviour.
It depends what they've got.
You want
really.
euthanizing?
No, but it's criminal behaviour. I think if
Yeah.
you're having bottles, have bottles at home.
Yeah.
Don't have bottles in the pub.
I reckon 3rd place is Copperberg Strawberry and Lime on draft.
Okay.
This is supposed to be a football podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get back to it. But do you know what? The viewers will.
I love this.
They're probably joining in at home. They're like, actually, what is my 5 favourite?
They're probably thinking, that they're all wrong.
Definitely
No,
for
that's
me.
what. That's
They'll
what.
definitely say that about
Someone's
me.
going to go on Twitter and go, "These are all absolutely crap."
I don't think I could name another 2 or 4, maybe San Miguel.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah, I like that, I like that.
Ethan's already really happy that I put that up there.
yeah. Sam Miguel's got to be on there. Number 5.
Do you know what? I'd have to maybe put Peroni. I've never had it on draft, but in a bottle it's really good. So maybe I might have to try it.
I think. Do you know what? We're gonna experiment that tonight, and on the next episode, maybe you can come back and change your opinion.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So, number 1, I'm gonna go for Star Pramen. They're a really nice lager, and they also come in like a pint stein looking glass. It's one of the round glasses with the. It's just nice.
Yeah, can we just say the last 6 Star Pramens Ethan's had have been bought by somebody else?
Yeah.
Right, lads. Cheers, gentlemen.
Just not on though, is it?
Well, times are getting tough, right?
Okay.
But we're good now. We're good now. But anyway, moving swiftly on. I'm going to go for number 2, San Miguel. I think San Miguel's got. I see why a lot of people don't like it because it's got a bit of a bitter aftertaste.
It's okay.
It's also quite high in percent.
That's what you want though.
Yeah, but I think Star Pramen's stronger, if not the same. I think San Miguel's 5%. No,
No, it's
It's 5. It's 5.
Yeah,
I thought
San
it
Miguel-
was 5.5.
San Miguel's 5.5.
No,
5.5.
No,
It's
San Miguel's
5.
5.
Yeah, it's 5.
I'm pretty sure
Oh.
San Miguel's 5.0. Do you know what? Let's have a look. We've got a book right here. I'm pretty sure we might be able to.
We don't have time for
I know.
predictions at this rate, even.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just
This book is useless, unfortunately.
Wow.
Anyway, number 3. Oh.
This is going very well.
Yeah, this. It's difficult when you get to number 3. You're like, oh, hang on a minute. There's a lot of beers to choose from here.
I think it depends on your mood, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You drink certain lager based on where you are, what environment. Like if you're at the football, if I'm at the football, I'll drink San Miguel. Almost every time. But I don't know. Amstel. I'm going to stick Amstel in there.
That's actually a shout. I don't mind
I do
Amstel.
like an Amstel. I know it's not the strongest lager, and some people would consider it as piss water, but I think it's one of the nicer tasting, like less percentage lagers, and it's also not that expensive really. Number 4, we'll stick Stella in there. Why not?
Stella's got to be up there.
Stella I don't think it lets you down. You very rarely go to a pub and Stella's bad.
Since I've started drinking Stella, I want to try actual Belgian Stella because it's still the original percent.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? That brings me to my number 5. Number 5? No, that brings me to number 5. I'm going to go Moretti. I went out to Italy last year with some lads from my old university, and we went and watched AC Milan versus Sarantina, I think. I can't remember what the other team was, but I'm pretty sure it ended 1-1, and it was a good experience. But yeah, Moretti out there was really good. We had it in like these massive Stein glasses, and it was really good.
That's a poor choice.
You don't like Moretti, do you?
Moretti.
You've got some sort of.
I think it's like a.
Yeah, what if they want to sponsor us, Joe?
Well,
what are you gonna do?
The will as well.
Well. What are you gonna do then, Joe? Huh?
I'll say it's really nice.
What if they've already watched this episode?
Moretti people, I know you're probably not watching this,
Moretti
but
people.
I will change my ways for a fee.
He's got charisma about him, doesn't he?
He does.
He does.
Right, I'll speed through mine.
Yeah, go on.
Number
Speed
1, we use Starro Ramen.
Good lad.
Number 2, Peroni. Number 3, Moretti. 4, Red Stripe. 5, Kronenberg.
Why is Guinness not on there?
Because we're doing lagers. I'm doing lagers.
No, but you drink Guinness.
Yeah, but it's not a lager.
No, but you can stick it. It's a stout, no?
Yeah,
I'm sticking on theme. I'm not being like Zach and going off a
Do you know what I
I'm
rate?
not doing that.
I rate Red Stripe.
Red Stripe is lovely.
I'd probably put Red Stripe 6th.
Okay. Maybe next week we can go into the back end of the 10.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe next week maybe I don't know. Not beers, maybe a different topic.
Yeah. We'll think about something else. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go on then. We'll
Predictions.
We're gonna go from this end. I'm gonna do mine last because I actually did my. You lot have all done yours over the last couple of weeks. I actually did mine at the start of the season, so I'm actually going to use that one and really embarrass myself.
So don't go for every position. Just go for the playoffs and the relegation zone.
Right.
I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't need to know mid-table.
Right, playoffs then. I've got number 1, Leicester.
That's not playoffs. That's promotions.
Oh wait, I thought we were doing top 6.
Top 6 then. There
So we're doing top 6. Leicester. Right. 2nd, I've got Southampton. 3rd, I've got Leeds United. 4th, Sunderland. 5th, Ipswich, and 6th, Hull.
You think Ipswich are going to drop off that badly?
Yes.
I don't think
Why?
I will.
I don't. I'll be honest. As a Norwich fan, it hurts me, but I don't think. I think they'll drop off a little bit. I think they'll have a period in the season where things don't quite go to plan, like what we're having now. But I think I can't see them dropping below 3rd or 4th. Really, I think they're on course for a unfortunate promotion.
No, I think the quality of the squads around them, the budget, what's been spent, I think it'll bounce to catch up. I think they're 1 or 2 injuries away.
We've got January to come up as well.
I think
things could happen.
It's owned by an American pension fund, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how much money they have?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, how do you think they're getting the success they're getting currently?
Exactly.
They bought League One last
You look
year.
at the squad though. It's literally just like average championship players. A lot of them, aren't they?
I read a quote yesterday while doing my research, and apparently they will bring the firepower during the January transfer market.
Actually, I've got a contrary to that, because I remember when Norwich last got promoted to the Premier League, and I know we spent 50 million, but we spent 50 million on crap. And I remember Stuart Webber coming out and going, last time I sent David Wagner I sent Daniel Farke to the Premier League without a gun, and he went, this time I'm sending him with a cannon, a bazooka, a tank. I can't remember the exact quote, but he said those things, and look what happened. So like,
Always have to make it about Norwich. Don't
no,
you?
no,
Yeah.
no. But these type of quotes are very. Don't read into them too much.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're owned by somebody that's got $18 billion or something like that in funding, I think their words when they first took over the club was, "We've got $18 billion and 700 million in cash."
Jesus.
Yeah.
But still, like I said, if you look at the squad, it's not the most outstanding thing you've ever seen, is it?
Manager though, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
No,
we'll get onto it about
Yeah.
Kieran McKenna.
Kieran McKenna. Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
He's very good.
I think we've gone off a bit of a tangent.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I want to talk about Kieran McKenna
Yeah,
later.
we'll bring that up later.
Go through your relegation.
My relegation. All right. In 22nd, I've got Plymouth.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
20
interesting.
23rd, I've got QPR, and right at bottom, I've got Rotherham United.
So you think we'll pick up?
Wednesday is staying up. Mark my words.
That's
Oh
not, that's
my
Bet you all. I said
words.
I'll bet you all a pint. Wednesday to stay up.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Done. Get it.
We've already shook about
What,
this. By
we've
the way.
done it again.
Right then, I have first Leicester, second Ipswich,
Mm.
third Southampton, fourth Leeds,
Oh.
fifth Preston, and sixth Hull City.
All right. Then.
Anything? Have you got anything to say about that?
I mean, I think that's all.
I think that's pretty standard.
Hull,
to be fair. There's nothing really.
I don't know about Hull.
Hull are very good.
Hull look very good.
Mm.
though.
Hull are like 8th
No, but I
at
feel
the moment.
I still feel like that they're one of them teams that can they're one of them teams that can drop off. Do you know what I mean? Like
They've got Jaden Philogene, who I think is going to be one of the best players in the league this season.
he is good. He is.
I think it
he's
looks
top class,
quite
but-
close
Yeah.
in the
But
championship, though.
I think the top 10 looks really close.
Yeah.
Like, that, do you know what I mean? Like I'm going to go back to us. We're 16th at the moment, but we're still only 6 points from the playoffs. So that's sort of just as a gauge of how tight it is. We're in 16th at the moment, and we're 6 points off the playoffs. That's how tight it is this season. I think there is at least 4 or 5 teams outside of the top 6 that could finish in the top 6. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a competitive league this season. Other than Leicester, they'll run away with it.
Yeah.
I suppose that the top 4, maybe like Ipswich, Southampton, and I don't know who else will be in there. Maybe Sunderland could be up there, but
I
like
think it will be.
I think it's all very, very tight.
I predicted Sunderland 8th.
Oh,
I think they look very good this year. Jack Clark.
he is phenomenal. He is a
Yes.
phenomenal footballer.
How old is he? So
If it weren't for Johnny Rowe, I'd say he's probably the best player in the league.
biased there, I think though.
The thing with Jack Clark though, if you remember, he burst onto the scene with Leeds, didn't he?
Yeah.
A few years ago,
Yeah.
and then signed for Tottenham, and he was a flop, weren't he? He didn't play for Tottenham, and then he went to like QPR on loan, stuff like that, and then he dropped down to League One with Sunderland. People thought, oh, he's just finished, he's gone now, he's dropped off, and then they managed to pick a player like him and make him realise his potential.
Yeah.
Which I think Sunderland have done a lot in the past couple of years with a few players like Patrick Roberts and people. I don't want to mention Patrick Roberts, but
I don't want to mention it either. He played for us and he scored one screamer away at where was it? I can't remember where it was. He scored one screamer away somewhere in pre-season, and we didn't see him since.
It always has to go back to Norwich, doesn't it?
Yeah, sorry lads.
Like half of this podcast is
No, but
just
it's
gonna
like
be
everything we're
Norwich.
speaking about is related. So why not?
Relegation. 22nd.
Even that's related at the moment.
QPR.
Oh, okay.
23rd. Rotherham.
I wonder who's next.
Oh, no,
And
here we go.
24th.
Oh.
May I get a drum roll? Sheffield Wednesday.
He was going to do that anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a United fan.
No, but I still want.
Go on, give us your reason. Why are they going to be bottom?
Shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Valid. Fair. Go on, Zach.
Alright,
This is the football encyclopedia that's about to speak.
I've got Leicester top, obviously.
Yep.
I've got Southampton second, which Ted also did. I think they'll pick up, mainly because I feel like, as much as I've slandered Russell Martin in the past, I think his philosophy, especially for a team with really good players, I think will work eventually.
Yeah.
So I think they'll eventually get. I think the players will eventually understand this philosophy a lot more, and I think they'll rock it into second personally. But it depends. I think Russell Martin isn't the best tactically. Like I've said that before, but because his sides concede a lot from set pieces, which seems to be a weakness of his sides, especially at Swansea. But I think, again, like I said, I think his philosophy will make him end up being a Premier League manager.
Yeah.
His philosophy is like what modern football is, passing it about and stuff like that.
What a player, by the way.
If we ever need to fill like a massive gap, let's just ask Zach a question.
You could ask
anything.
genuinely. People in the comments. Okay, we're just before you do your relegation set, Zach.
I don't even think he got past. He didn't even get past second place.
Well, before we carry on, people in the comments, I want you all to give us a few questions for Zach, like the most outlandish football question for next episode, and we'll not show him, and we'll not show him until the episode. We'll read them out to him, and we'll have a segment where he answers the questions.
And please comment, otherwise I'm gonna have to go onto like a second YouTube, account.
You have to make a burner account and make the questions yourself.
Also, please subscribe and watch us. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to, keep on refreshing the page.
Joe's gonna be sat there on the first episode for like a couple of days, just subscribe.
Nobody's watched us yet.
All right, third place, Ipswich. I think they'll drop off a bit, but I think it'll be close between them and Southampton, I believe. Fourth place, I've got Leeds, who I think they obviously have good players, but I think they're way off in terms of their project, with Daniel Farke's project, because they seem to be quite inconsistent. Fifth, I've got Sunderland, who again I think they'll normally have a good second half of the season, and I think sixth is a bit of a wild card, because I don't think any of you have talked about them because they've gone under the radar a bit. Cardiff.
Oh, I've got them 10th.
Okay.
I think they've gone under the radar a bit because they're not playing the best football in the world, but they're getting results.
Yeah.
Well, they were.
Well, they were, but I think they'll pick up again.
No, yeah, I think that there's definitely a team in there in Cardiff and the way they're playing at the moment.
To say they were like near the bottom last season,
Yeah.
I think Errol Bullock's doing a really good job.
Yeah, they're definitely picking up. Go on then, Zach. Your relegation candidates. Who is getting in the drop zone?
Right, unfortunately, I've had to put Wednesday at 22nd.
Keep
At
the
least
faves,
you got them
Zach.
like-
Keep the faves, Zach.
Ted's got it.
You've got them on the top end.
I think we'll definitely pick up, but I think it'll be too much. I don't think unless we get a good striker in January, I don't think we'll have enough to stay up.
It's predicted to be a seller's market, innit?
Yeah. 23rd, I've got Huddersfield because
Ooh,
I think
okay.
they've looked
You
absolutely.
don't back Daz?
No, I love Darren Moore, but I don't think he's probably not championship quality manager. I think sometimes he can be tactically not inept, but he can sometimes be tactically poor.
I think that's a bit harsh.
It's a bit harsh, but
You're basically saying he's inept.
I think he's class, mate.
he's a brilliant man manager. I just don't think he's got what it takes tactically, because it showed last season a few times with us, but
Oh.
Yeah.
Forest Green especially.
Yeah, true, actually. But I don't know. I'll back him. I think they'll stay up.
But I think they've been unlucky actually with injuries, because if you've seen the squad recently, they've had like the one striker got Kyle Hudlin, who was playing like non-league football a couple of years ago, and that's their only striker fit at the moment. So
Not ideal.
not very ideal at all. But again, they might pick up if they get a couple quality players in. And last, I've got Rotherham.
Yeah.
I just feel that like I think they've always got a surprise result in them with Rotherham, especially at home. But their away form is just going to cost them, unfortunately.
100%. Just sack the manager, though, aren't they?
Yeah, but
Taylor.
it depends who they get in.
Yeah.
If they get in Steve Evans, then I think he's going to be.
I remember when Matt Taylor came in. That was what season was that? That was not last season. The season before, was it?
It was last season.
Was it last season
Yeah.
he came in? Yeah.
Because Paul Warren went to Derby, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which we'll get on to.
Yeah, we will. Right. Okay. Well, so mine's not too bad. It's all right. It's just I did most of it at the start of the season. I've just tweaked a few over the last couple of weeks, but Leicester first. No surprises there. I've got Southampton second. I sort of agree with Zach. I think Russell Martin's got a really good idea of what he wants to do and what he wants to achieve, and the way he's going about it. Maybe a little bit of bias in there. Got a relationship with Russell Martin, obviously back when he played for us, and I think that he's just got a really good philosophy, and I like watching Southampton. When you watch Southampton play football, it's always entertaining. I've got Ipswich in third. Like I say, as much as that hurts to say, I think that they can drop off. I don't agree with people that are saying, oh no, they're just too good now, because like Zach said, that they do still have a relatively mediocre squad at best, other than a few exceptions. I've put Sunderland in fourth. I think there's a real chance for them to go back up this year. Like, so Jack Clark, and obviously they've got Bellingham in there as well, and he's starting to prove himself. Fifth, I've actually got Coventry.
No.
Are they at bottom at the moment?
I got Coventry.
They're like 19th.
Yeah.
They are, but that's one that needed changing, because I had that at the start of the season, because last season I thought they were pretty good, and I watched a few games. There was this YouTuber who used to live stream the games and stuff. Watched a few of their games last season. So that one is a bit out there because of, like I say, I watched them last season. So that one I haven't really changed.
That's just not going to happen at all.
No, it's absolutely not. I completely resent.
Yeah, they were near the bottom at the start of last season.
In fact, to be honest, I'd probably change that one to Leeds United. And sixth, I've got Norwich City. I was going to put them in there, and I think anyone at the start of the season would if you looked at that squad on paper, if you're clued up, if you're a Norwich fan, if you're clued up on the squad, you look at it on paper, you look that there are multiple Championship title winning players in that squad. In terms of, there's players in there that have won the Championship. There's players in there that have been to the Premier League. They've been there, done it. Look, we brought in Shane Duffy, Ashley Barnes, and players like that. Josh Sargent. You've got Gabriel Sauer in there, who's a real talent. Who I want to talk about him a bit more later, because he when he plays football, it's just magical. Obviously, Johnny Rowe, who, to be fair, I didn't really expect to come through as well as he has, but he has at the end of the day. And I still believe in that. I still believe Norwich can get sixth. I think there is very much still a season in this season for us, if that makes sense. I think whether David Wagner will leave or not, I'm not entirely sure as of yet. I think it worries me, because I think if they were going to do it before the QPR game, that they'd have done it already. However, I think obviously we're in an international break now, and I think it would be best if we did it in an international break, so a new manager can come in and meet Ben Napper and meet the players and really put his philosophy down on the table. What Norwich need is someone who's going to play exciting, attacking football. And it's not that, like, the fans don't hate David Wagner, okay? It's like we don't resent him. Like, most fans will tell you, David Wagner is a lovely guy, and it's not the same scenario as we had with Dean Smith, because obviously Dean Smith he basically said it was the fans' fault that Norwich were losing. You can never ever in football blame the fans. You cannot do that, because you lose your job. That's it then. If you lose the stadium, you lose your job, regardless of what's happening on the pitch. Look at Ten Hag at the moment. Like, Man United, they're one of the most informed teams in the Premier League at the moment. They're getting results, but the fans aren't happy with the football, and so do you know what I mean? But yeah, enough about that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ben Napper.
Yeah.
His Arsenal connections.
His Arsenal connections, that does excite me. That intrigues me. Whether Norwich have the funds to do anything this January is up for discussion, and there might be some outgoings. As of yet, I'm not really sure. I know, I think it was, I saw the other day, Aston Villa and West Ham are snooping around Johnny Rowe, but I'm pretty sure he's got his heart set on staying with us this season. An interview from Gabriel Sauer the other day would have excited all Norwich fans, because he sort of said he wants to be here for the next couple of seasons. He wants to take Norwich to the Premier League, but he wants to take Norwich to the Premier League and play for Norwich in the Premier League. These were Gabriel Sauer's words. So I suppose when your top players, your players that are still performing, are saying like that they're committed, that's, I suppose, from a dressing room standpoint, that's what you want to hear. But
and your left back,
Dimitri Giannoulis.
Yeah, he needs to get a new contract.
Yeah, he does. He's out of contract at the end of the season, so he's an important player for us, Dimitri Giannoulis. I think there's a bit of a fan divide on some people like him, some people don't. I think, to be honest, on his day, he's probably one of the best fullbacks in the division.
He has played every game so far, and I don't watch Norwich, obviously. You know, who'd want to watch Norwich?
Right, cheers, mate. Nice one.
But
Brilliant.
But apparently, he has improved a lot.
He has. Like since he first came in, again, it was sort of a case of no one really knew who he was. That's what Norwich do. And I think over the last few seasons, he's really settled in well at Norwich, and there's definitely a really talented player in there in Dimi Anulis, and I think, like I say, on his day, for me, he's one of the best fullbacks in the division. But anyway, we'll go on to my relegation zone now, and it's fairly standard, really. I've got Sheffield Wednesday, 22nd.
It's not on.
No, I know, but
You should be happy that you put him that high.
yeah, you're at the top end of the relegation zone. Does that make you feel any better?
When you three all owe me pints, we'll see who's laughing then.
You'll all us lot pints.
We'll see. We'll see,
Yeah,
shall we?
exactly. 23rd, I've got Rotherham United. I think they just haven't got it in them.
I mean, Rotherham's better than Wednesday, pal. Okay, calm down.
We beat them
2-0. And battered them as
I mean,
well.
it don't
To be
matter.
fair, they got a draw against Ipswich the other week. So.
I mean, Sheffield United drew against Brighton,
All right.
and
who's
laugh.
sixth.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is Wednesday drubbed Rotherham. It weren't even close.
Yeah, we should have been about 5-0 up at half time.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I say, Rotherham managed to get a point against Ipswich, didn't they? The 2-2.
We
That
got
just
a point
shows-
against Leeds.
Yeah, it just shows
Yeah,
how
yeah.
crazy the championship
Yeah.
is.
It's a mental league.
That anything can happen in the championship, and that is a fact. That is absolutely a fact. And 24th, I've got QPR.
Yes,
I think that, to be honest, there's no way back for them, in my opinion.
I think we've all got the
I had
same.
him stopping up. I think he's going to do
Really?
a good job. That Sif Wednesdays.
I think that I don't think they've got a chance. I think there's
Because they've got some great players. They've got Chris Willock. They've got Elias Chair. They've got a lot more.
I don't
quality
think
than-
Elias Chair will be there in January.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think they've got a lot more quality than us, Rotherham or Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at what the current bottom six are, who do you? Okay, I'm going to ask you if you think Wednesday can stay up,
Right.
what teams above Wednesday currently do you feel you're better than?
Everyone in the relegation zone. I think we're better than Plymouth. I thought we played better than Plymouth when we played them.
I don't think Plymouth will be near the relegation zone.
I don't think they will be.
I think they've got some firepower in there. I think they've got some good players.
I think we look better than. It's going to sound a bit outrageous.
I mean, they beat us 6-2, so I'm going to say they're good.
Yeah, Millwall may have beat us 4-0 at the weekend, but I
Right.
thought we were
The
better.
first 20 minutes, apparently, we played really well.
We played well throughout game. I mean, similar possession, similar XG. I know
That means
football's
nothing,
played on the
though.
pitch, but we
I
have.
hate XG.
I know,
so
I know,
much.
but
It's such a point.
I think no, it does tell you though. Like the
No, it
chances.
doesn't.
It
It's
tells you a lot
so
about the quality of
stupid.
the chances.
Does
right?
it?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It
That's
It
the
does show
whole
you
point
about
of
the
it.
quality of the chances.
It does.
No,
That's the
no,
whole
because-
point. We had a
because-
similar quality of chances, but at the end of the day, we don't have that firepower. But I think we played better football. We outplayed Bristol when we had 10 men. I thought.
Yeah.
We look like a comfortable championship team under roll. We just can't score goals
No,
because
but
we haven't
you
got a
could get
striker.
you could get 2 lucky breaks in a game. Okay, so it's 0-0. All of a sudden, you get 2 lucky breaks out of nowhere. Your XG is like 0.12 or something. All of a sudden, you're 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
I
you
don't
played
like.
well, does it?
I don't like XG. It doesn't make sense. I think it's.
It's about whether you played well or not.
I
as
just
well.
think it's
Yeah,
a pointless stat. I think there will be people in the comments that disagree and agree with me. I think it's a fairly divided
Anyway, yeah,
opinion.
I watched
but-
the game anyway, and I thought we played
Yeah.
well. I thought like the XG matched how we performed because it was an even game. They just scored 4 goals because we can't defend really.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh, there's a lot of new managers now in the
There
championship.
is. There's
isn't
new
there?
managers absolutely all over the gaff.
Oh, Wayne.
What,
Wayne.
do you think Birmingham are just like they got him for the name value instead of
Definitely.
footballing?
What they did to Eustace, I think he was doing a really good job with them.
Again, he's not but he's not like the most like he's quite pragmatic as a manager. So he's not really attacking.
Eustace.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he was doing a good job.
he was doing a good job, and they should never sack him.
They were getting results, and they
It's
they
like
were
a
playing
Gary
really well.
Rowett situation, isn't it? When they sacked him when they were 6th, then they got Gianfranco Sola in
Yeah.
for the name value, and you might play good football, and then they dropped. I
suppose-
think the same's going to happen here.
I suppose from a publicity standpoint, it was.
That's what they want because they're American owners, aren't they?
It wasn't a bad idea.
Look at
from
they've
Rooney,
got Tom Brady invested in them.
I
So
mean,
they obviously just want the name value, don't they?
out of the last 17 games Rooney has managed a team for, he's only won 2.
But I do want to say I
Was
think
that
he's been
with,
treated harshly though.
DC United.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was DC United, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's just like last 17.
Did he score a
including
halfway
this.
line goal for them as well?
Yeah,
I have no
Before he
idea.
then became manager.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's got a halfway line goal for Everton.
No, he done it in the MLS as well.
No, he got the ball at halfway and then
Oh, pinged the pass in.
pinged the pass in. Yeah.
That were it.
Oh right. Yeah.
And I think Rooney's first 5 games, though, if you listen to opponents, right,
on.
Middlesbrough,
Yeah.
Hull,
Yeah.
Southampton,
Yeah.
Ipswich, and Sunderland.
So it's been a tough
they're all
start.
they're all difficult games.
And he
but
got
I
1
think-
point, but I think he's been treated harshly, very harshly.
I don't think he has. I think if you're going to take a job on like that where the previous manager is getting results, I think you've got to come in with an idea.
I think
and
that's the
you've got
board's
to
fault, though.
You've got to come in and get results.
That's the board, though, I think. I don't think that's Rooney's fault. Like, if he wants to manage in
No,
England and he gets the
I'm
opportunity.
not necessarily blaming Rooney, and I still think, while for PR it was a good idea, I still think from a football standpoint it was really stupid to sack Eustace because I think he was doing really well, but yeah, it's just I don't think that you can really defend him in terms of that they've had these games and like I say, Eustace was getting results. You can't bring a manager in and then not get results because that obviously as much as we don't want it to fall on Rooney. It's going to fall on him because the fans are going to be like, oh, well, he's crap. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to say, oh, he's not very good.
They'll get 3 points next.
They had like a very good winning formula, and then they just
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't know why. Well, like I say, the PR thing, brilliant. But why, from a footballing standpoint, would you change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, is what I say.
I think the most interesting appointment recently has been Joe Edwards at Millwall.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think it's one of why I want to talk about Kieran McKenna. Do you think the way teams recruit managers is different now than it was?
Oh, absolutely.
Quite a few years ago.
I
think a lot of clubs recruit managers based on philosophy rather than just they've won here, they've
experience.
won here.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of talk about managers that like people are starting to think, oh, hang on a minute, if you're in the Championship, why not bring up a manager from, I don't know, Liverpool second team or Man United second team or like I don't want to bring us up again, but it's just it just is relevant. Norwich were linked with and people were there were snoops of people going around saying, oh, get Jack Wilshere in, and you're right, teams are taking different approaches. Like Norwich, I don't want someone that's necessarily experienced but going to play boring football. We did that already with Dean Smith and it didn't work. So I think you're right in terms of teams are now starting to, because the way football is developing, teams are now starting to look for a different approach in terms of bringing someone young who's going to throw 3, 4, 5 men forward. Like, why not? People want to see. People don't want to go and watch their team park the bus anymore and grind out a 1-0 win. Do you know what I mean? People want to see goals. People want to see goals. And in the Premier League, I suppose with VAR, and I'm sure we can talk about that at some point, it's a lot more difficult in terms of everyone wants to play good football. That's the crux of it, really. I think that you've got teams that are like Ipswich or Kieran McKenna. They've brought in a young manager who's not got too much experience, and I mean, look at him go.
Before we hired Danny Rowe, I saw loads of our fans say, "Oh, we need manager Championship experience."
No,
that's been proven over the past few years.
Gary
that
Monk
it means nothing.
That doesn't work.
No.
Nowadays, it does not work.
I think experience can be a good thing, but
then what I will say is, like I said, it doesn't work, but then it can work depending on the team that you've got.
Yeah.
So if you're a Millwall, or if you're when Burnley, like the old Burnley, and you've got loads of, as the football world would say, Brexit players. Like if you're gonna want to, you're gonna want to play a 4-4-2 flat and lump it forward to your 2 massive strikers. But if you've got a team like a Sunderland or like a Leicester, you don't want a manager in that's gonna, when you know your team can do more. It's like you're almost watching your team out there, and you're like, there's so much more these players could give.
I think 3-5-2 is becoming the new 4-4-2. You know, I feel that's becoming like the most common.
Yeah,
for like the more pragmatic sides, isn't it?
I still stick with the 4-2-3-1 Daniel Farker style. That was my favourite formation ever.
Right, moving a bit swiftly on into League One. I think this is carrying on from that conversation. John Messina at Portsmouth.
Oh wow, what a job
Like-
they're doing at the moment.
Like when they got hired, everyone was saying why are they taking Oxford's coach who were in the same league and below them
Yeah.
as their manager? Like who at Portsmouth decided that was going to happen? It shows how the different recruiting managers is now. So did he interview or did they try and get him out from the start? Like,
Yeah, it's interesting.
it's very interesting how
I mean,
like that would that have happened like 10, 15 years ago?
No,
probably not.
I think the football world in general has
Yeah.
changed. I mean, like I say, you got the introduction of VAR. I think it's all about evolution, isn't it? Really, we evolve as people, and football evolves with us. I suppose that's sort of how it's going at the moment. Football is evolving, and I think some fans need to sort of, and some managers as well need to sort of like just go with the times.
There is a lot of older fans who still think that we should play 4-4-2.
Yeah, play Route 1 football. Have two massive strikers up front.
Yeah, but it's bad. It's really bad that.
People don't like wing backs.
They don't.
People hate wing backs,
I know.
especially on pro
For me-
clubs.
The thing is, for me, like free at the back recently has become like the most common formations, haven't they?
Yeah.
A lot of teams are playing like free back, like Coventry last season, Luton last season.
We did it last season.
It's 3-5-2. I think it's since for journalists. I think it's since United started playing it with Wilder. I think it's become like the biggest
Attacking centre half.
Yeah,
we
I
were
think-
the innovators.
Yeah, fair. Because like since then, it seems like everyone's been playing 3-5-3, 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1,
Yeah.
and 3-5-2. It's like
It's because it works most of the time.
it's more defensively solid in it.
Yeah.
Than a three centre
Yeah.
backs.
Again, I suppose it depends on who your team is. So
Yeah,
what
obviously.
players have you got in your Arsenal? Do you know what I mean?
I think it's like if you're leaking goals, your manager's first thought now is free at back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with us, really. Because
Yeah.
we were playing 4-3-3 at start of season before last.
Oh,
Yeah.
not all
And
managers.
then Darren just moved straight to 3-5-2. And
Yeah.
started playing well.
That's what it is.
I mean, some managers choose to use players that played in the National League last season.
What do you think's going wrong at Derby?
I would have thought they would have walked it this year. to be honest.
They're
You think-
7th on 27 points.
Yeah, but I think they
They
should
should be with the players they
challenging.
have. They should be better.
No, yeah, they should.
And
they
the
should.
manager, Paul Wansley, he's
Do
very
you think he's
experienced
one of
in
those?
this
Do
league.
you think he's one of those that's like he's only right for one club?
That might be a bit
Yeah.
harsh though.
Yeah, but I mean, the real world is harsh, though. you know,
Cheers, Joe.
when you fall over, hardly anybody will help you up. They'll laugh at you. You know, if Ted or Ethan falls over, I'm not going to help them up, or at least not at first. I'm going to laugh at them.
But you help Zach.
And then help them up.
Maybe.
Only because you sat right next to him.
No, I mean, if somebody falls over, you have a laugh. Maybe.
No, yeah,
I mean, you'll help them up afterwards, but
it
it's
depends who
it's
it
a
is.
tough
You
world.
might have to laugh slightly discreetly. I mean, look, if anyone falls over, it's going to be mildly amusing. But
Exactly.
there's a time and a place, Joe. There's a time and a place.
You might come at me for saying that, but it is a hard world.
No, it is absolutely.
What's that? You think Paul Warren is a one-trick pony?
Maybe.
How do we go into like world
Look at it.
problem? How do we go to world problems and falling over from
Back
Paul
onto actual
Ward?
football now. Back onto actual football now.
Yeah.
Right. I think you look at it though. Derby got rid of Rosenior
Yeah.
to get Paul Warren in because they thought, he gets all the promotions, but it's not as easy as that, is it?
No. It's
That's
not,
what I mean. Because look at Rosenior. He's doing so well at Hull now, and they got rid of him for someone like Paul Warren.
Some managers
It was
just don't
totally
suit certain
totally
teams.
different style of football as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, some managers just they go into a team and they'll either completely change it or they just don't suit it at all, and 6 months later they're out the job again. I want to talk about Oxford United. I think they have been absolutely brilliant
Yeah,
this
but they've
season.
lost their manager, haven't they?
Yeah.
They have, but they've played some really good football.
I think they'll drop off now without Manning.
Regardless, I know obviously managers are a big part, but I think there's a good squad in there. And
Have you seen who they're getting in as manager?
no,
Des Buckingham, Mumbai City manager from India.
Really?
Yes.
That's a
Do you know
really-
what?
And we're talking about it with inexperienced managers.
why not?
Yeah.
Don't knock him until he's had a go.
He's from Oxford as well. So.
There you go. Don't knock him till he's had a go. He might come in and they might leapfrog Portsmouth. I mean, they're only 1 point behind at the moment. They've scored 31 goals and conceded 16. So defensively, they're pretty sound. They've got a plus 15 goal difference, and I think having only lost 3 games this season, why not? I think.
What do you think of Manning's
Oxford
decision?
Can go up.
What do you think of Manning's decision to leave Oxford to go to Bristol City?
Yeah.
When they were second.
I disagree with it. I think he should have stayed.
I agree.
I think that there's a project there that he's now left behind, and for me it was
You
the
look
wrong
at though,
decision.
when they were at MK Dons, a lot of clubs were after him when he finished third with them in his first season.
Yeah.
Then the season after, he decided to stay.
That's what I don't
then they
understand why he's
dropped off.
Yeah.
And he got sacked. And Oxford have picked him back up and gave him another chance, haven't they? Really?
I don't know.
Do you think? I think it's because he regrets not leaving MK Dons after that first season.
Yeah, you could be right in terms of he could have sort of afterwards, I suppose, been kicking himself and going, oh, why didn't I take that job? So maybe this time he thought, "Do you know what, I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. Yeah. But I think for me, there's a real project there at Oxford, and I hope this new manager comes in and does really well for them.
Yeah. I don't think you can blame Manning though, because like Bristol aren't going to get relegated, are they?
Well, no, they're not going to go down.
So, I mean, he's got like a full
but
next season window.
I was going to say, have they got what are Bristol's financial state?
Apparently, they're
like?
quite struggling with profit and sustainability rules.
So, what sort of project have they got going on there then?
They've got quite a lot of good young players. They've got like Sam Bell. They've got They've got.
Have they still got that? Have they still got that Alex Scott?
He's got Bournemouth.
Oh right.
He's not doing too well there, I don't think.
Is he getting?
But apparently they need to sell to be able to sign players now.
Yeah, right.
I know all about that. Yeah.
About Reading though.
I know.
The bottom.
The players are better than what they're doing. I know there's
the point deduction. Remember the point deduction.
Yeah, but they're still being relegation zone.
Yeah, they've only been deducted 4 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to do something to morale though.
I don't know what's happened with Exeter. Sorry, I'm looking at the table now. And last time I looked, Exeter were like mid-table, doing quite well, getting results. It's like every time I look,
money in it.
It's like every time I look, Exeter they win a game, but somehow they're still 20th with only.
They had a really good start, but now they've dropped off.
Yeah, them and Oxford are sort of battling it out for a little while, weren't they? They were sort of going up together. But
going back to Reading,
yeah.
Do you think? How much do you think stuff off the field can affect stuff on the field?
Massively.
Oh,
massively.
Absolutely. I think, regardless of how good your team is, if things aren't right in the dressing room or in the office, it's never going to go well, because especially if the fans know there's something not quite right, they're going to pick up on it as well. And obviously the fans are going to pick a side, and whether they pick the side of the players or whether they pick the side of the manager or the owners.
Not pick the owners.
Well, there you go. Someone's going to get it in the neck, and until that's sorted, you're going to have a toxic fan base. You're going to have a toxic home ground,
and we know that quite well here at Wales.
Yeah, well,
so do I.
They've got what they've got. It's like "Sell Before We Die." Is that called?
Yeah, because Die Young. Yeah.
Die Young. Yeah.
Well, did you see the thing that the Wednesday fans put outside the ground the other day?
The thing is, I don't understand why we're not doing as much as other clubs. We need to do a lot more protests.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
What did they put up outside the ground?
It was just a banner.
Oh. So it's like not fit for purpose.
I can get a picture of it.
I thought that were long ago.
No, like other day.
Oh right.
Well, I'll put a picture of it up on screen now, so that the people watching can see. Obviously, if you're on,
very, very ambitious.
I mean, Ted's editing, so nice one, Ted. Cheers. if you're listening on Spotify, I'll read it out for you now. It says Chancery not fit or proper, sell the club, and it's like on a gate right outside the ground. So fans did that on Monday. They did that on Monday night.
I think he's a narcissist though, isn't he? He'll try and threaten us by not. Oh, I'm not going to put any more money.
He's like a child.
Like a child, isn't it?
Oh, he's a reactive guy, isn't he? He's a reactive.
He'll say,
guy.
"Oh, I'm not going to spend money," and then the next day he'll spend money.
Yeah.
Because it was just to scare us into not protesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever see his LinkedIn messages?
I did. Sell your house.
Sell your house. Like in some words, he basically said, "Come meet me at the club face to face." To one.
Many fans have, by the way.
Yeah, they have.
That's I don't know why he's doing that, because fans will turn up in their hundreds. They'll be like, okay,
we're here.
We want you out. Like
exactly.
There's no two ways about it. We can't make it any more obvious. Do you know what I mean? I think going back to Reading, it's like you say. I think off-field
because they've got some good players, haven't they?
They have got some good players, but a
lot better than bottom of League One. I think some of their players are Championship quality.
Absolutely, I do agree that I think in any football club, if you've got problems off the pitch, like I say, whether that's in the dressing room or the head office, it's not going to go well for you on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? You need. There's got to be a stability there.
I wrote a joke. Can I read it? I'm quite proud of it.
Christ.
No, you can't.
Right.
Go on then.
Seeing as though they're 152 years old, at least they won't die young, Reading, if they go under.
Reading, he's going to get.
Do you know what?
Get some hate comments from Reading.
Do you know what? You shouldn't have even given him that. I mean, you've got a Twitter clip for us. So cheers, mate.
Yeah, thank you. We got the promotion.
We stand in solidarity with Sol before we die. Though,
you've also
on the Pitch Perfect podcast.
You've also got me saying that I'll laugh at people when they fall over, which I don't actually. But,
can we also give a quick shout out while we're on a bit of a tangent? I want to give a quick shout out to Jumpers and Collars.
Exactly.
They're a great band. We're in affiliation with them now. So when's the next concert, mate? When can people where can people listen to Jumpers and Collars?
On Spotify after you listen to this podcast, which is also on Spotify, hopefully now.
Yeah,
maybe. Have we created the Spotify yet?
It'll be on YouTube first.
We'll jump it on YouTube and then we'll sort the Spotify out later.
Right. Okay.
Next Jumpers and Collars gig, December
24th of this month.
Where?
Chantry Brewery in Rotherham.
We will be there. Or everyone from the Pitch Perfect. By the way, this is not our whole cast. There are a select few that will be joining, hopefully, in the next episode.
Yeah, Ethan's gone next episode because he's putting a Shamboli performance.
Yeah, literally.
Right, hang on a minute, gentlemen.
We're currently 1 hour in, and I reckon about 40 minutes has just been Ethan talking about Norwich.
Yeah, probably. But the fans will enjoy it. I'm sure everyone's enjoyed our podcast. I think we've had a really good episode today. I think we've covered quite a lot.
Do you want to quickly mention League 2?
Is there anything relevant going on in League 2 at the moment?
Wrexham?
Yes, actually, okay, yeah. A little bit of Wrexham. A little bit of Wrexham action. Oh, you're one of them.
Yeah, don't like them.
Disney club, are they?
They are a
Disney club.
Is it?
I like.
Go on, give us your reasons. Why don't you like Wrexham?
I mean, I think they've just got so much money in the league that they are currently in. They were in non-league.
Yeah.
But buying championship quality players. Maybe not championship. But
I was going to say you're pushing your luck there.
But you know what I'm getting at.
Well, yeah. Well, they did well to get Ben Foster at National League, to be fair, and Paul Mullin.
I mean, they actually had a really rough start at the start of this season.
He retired, didn't he?
They've suddenly
and now they're second.
They've picked up.
Well, it was like. I suppose in National League you don't really have to defend; you can just attack and win games. But obviously, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh crap! These teams can actually score goals." So I think that they've nullified that now. They're now second in the league with 33 points. If I can read.
Drop news, mate.
Disney have just renewed. Disney have just renewed their TV show thing for another third
Welcome
season.
to Wrexham.
Welcome to Wrexham. That's exciting.
We won't be watching.
Exactly.
Speak for yourselves, gentlemen. I think it's a thoroughly entertaining
it?
series. I haven't watched it yet, but I might.
Thoroughly entertaining.
I mean, whoever made that,
I stand with Ryan Reynolds.
That football. I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds.
If you don't like Ryan Reynolds, you've got a problem.
Exactly.
He's good in Fall Guy and Deadpool. Not Fall Guy. What's it called? Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah, not Fall Guy.
Fall Guy's a game.
Is that the video game film where he like he's like the one that's not AI, all the others are AI, and he's not.
Yeah, like he becomes sentient.
Great film. Recommend it. I think it's on Netflix. If you want to go watch that.
I watched it in the cinemas.
Bit of a question to probably end
lovely.
this podcast. With Wrexham and Notts County, do you think that shows that the gap between the top of the National League and top of League 2 is very, very small?
Oh, it's very close. I mean, the fact both of them have sort of flown to the top end of the table after a few weeks.
And you see it a lot when teams get promoted from National League, and when it was the conference, that they get 2 straight promotions quite easily.
Yeah, they sort of jump between.
Yeah, straight to League 1.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden that gap gets a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I think the gap between League 2 and League 1 is quite
big.
large. Yeah. And then obviously the gap between League 1 and the Championship is quite. Would you say? Okay, no, this is a really stupid question.
Perfect place for it.
Do you do you think that there's a chance that the gap between the Premier League and the Championship is getting smaller, but the gap between League 1 and the Championship is getting bigger?
The gap between the Championship and the Premier League.
I think it's getting bigger.
It's getting massively bigger.
Do you think?
Look at the newly promoted teams.
Yeah.
They make up the bottom 3, and it's like Burnley.
But do you agree that the League One and Championship gap's getting bigger?
Yes, definitely.
No.
It is definitely getting bigger.
No.
Financially, especially, I think it's definitely.
Yeah,
I think
possibly.
it's
But
getting
you
bigger.
look. I mean, bar us, but we are in like a dire state with our owner. Plymouth doing okay. I don't actually think Plymouth will go down. I'll take that back.
No, you can't go back on that.
All right,
now.
well,
That's on the internet.
All right,
now,
no one's gonna get this far. It's fine.
all the Plymouth fans are fuming.
All right,
Yeah,
whatever.
they probably would have, turned off after like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was your fault.
If you're still watching, thank you very much.
Oh, if anyone has stayed until now, well done.
We owe you money.
Well done, you. Whoa.
No, I won't go that far.
Compensation.
Might buy you a Kit Kat.
Have a break.
I didn't
I didn't want to do that.
It don't even mean like the Kit Kat, with like four, strips. It means like the
The Kit Kat Chunky,
yeah.
the beast.
I
Yeah.
do love a chunky.
I'm sure you do, pal.
Okay.
Right, do you know what? We're going to end on him liking a chunky. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you all very much for watching the first episode. This has been the Pitch Perfect podcast. If you want to watch us on YouTube, you can anywhere. I'm your host, Ethan. I've been here with Ted, Joe and Zach. And we want to thank you all very much for watching.